Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Well, good evening. It's around about 4 o'clock. Welcome back to Scano's Garden, where the more we know, the better we grow. Zone 6 Urban Gardening. It's been an absolutely beautiful day here in the Gym City. I've been digging this hole and getting it together because a couple weeks ago, somebody asked me about worm castings. Worm castings are great. If you buy them from the store, you know they can get a little expensive. There's a bunch of videos about how to collect worm castings, and they can get a little complicated with all the bins and all the shelves and everything. So real quickly, I wanted to show you guys how we do it here at Scano's Garden. Easy peasy Japanesey. I have found that this is the absolute best way for me to gather up worm castings and use it as a dry amendment to my other soils and my other beds, especially if you're going to be doing above ground garden beds or raised beds. I strongly suggest that you go in your backyard somewhere and you find a good spot and you build you a earthworm casting pit, a worm casting pit. Don't get this mistaken for a compost pile. It's not a compost pile, it's a worm casting pit. You feel me? Because they're going to be coming to this pit and they're going to be doing their thing and eating it all and just having a ball. And what you're going to be able to do later on is come in here and gather up as much earthworms castings as you want to and put them to where you want to in your gardens. Like I said, this is really, really important if you're going to be doing above ground beds, and it's a really way to gather up those earthworm castings for free. All you got to do is basically this. So let's get started. What I did right here is I dug a really, really deep hole. Well, I ain't gonna say really deep. It's about a foot, foot and a half, maybe 2 feet. You feel me? I just use this shovel. You don't have to make it this big. It can just be a round hole, but make sure it's in your yard. Like I said, this is not a compost pile. It's a worm pit, basically, worm casting pit. So we want to have it in the ground. And like I said, whether it's a small hole or a big, large one, we want to have it in the ground. So let's go. Once you've got your hole dug, we want to put a couple things in there to entice the worms. Now, I've already got this pit filled up mostly, and all I do is keep replaying these steps in the same way. So what I put down first is I got me some dry grass. And like I said, I filled it up. I just kept repeating this till it fills all the way up. So this is probably the last one. Get you some dry grass and put it in there. Then you want to get you a little straw. And this is going to create a good aeration and good movement so the worms can get all through there and do their thing. Now, I've got some weeds here that I got from the yard. You want to put them weeds in there. You know, collect them weeds and get those in there. Now, after you've got your weeds in there, you want to put some compost in there because that's what the earthworms are just going to love it. Dry cereal. Cornflakes works great as an earthworm attractor. So we're going to throw those cornflakes in there. And like I said, I already put some, and they're at the bottom. You feel me? But we're going to keep repeating this. I also have some compost right here. This is some tomato clippings because I went through and pruned all the tomatoes and stuff. So we want to get that in there. And like I said, what's going to happen is those earthworms are just going to start to be like, man, what's that? What's that? And they're going to gather up to here, gather up to here. And before you know it, there's going to be a whole slew of earthworms right here in this pit doing their thing, doing their thing. They're going to be eating that food, then recycling it. The microbes are going to be in there eating that part. And then once we add it to our soils and stuff, it'll be A1 ready, super earthworm casting packed, very, very nutritious, very, very nitrogen, potassium, everything rich. Everything you need is going to be in here. I've got some cans. Canned vegetables and canned food works great. It also works great for your compost pile. So if you was ever wondering, hey, can I add canned food to my compost pile? Yes. Yes, you can. And don't let nobody tell you can't. Here we go. So I'm adding all this to there. Some outdated canned vegetables and stuff that I had in there. So I'm getting them all out here. There we go. Now, I know this looks crazy, but the earthworms are going to absolutely love it. They are going to be coming from everywhere, and they're going to gather up right here. Now, once I've got that stuff down, I want to put some more grass. We don't want to put soil right here. All this stuff is going to break down into a nice earthworm casting. It's going to be so fine, and I don't know if you ever felt earthworm castings before, but it's going to be just like that. And then we're going to put our straw back on top. Here we go. Now, after I've got everything filled up to the top, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and get a tarp. And I'll put it over it just like that. Grab a board, slap it right over that bad boy just like that, and just let it go. And every day I want to come out here, add stuff to it, kind of flip it a little bit. But like I said, this is not a compost pile. It's an earthworm casting pit. So let them come. Let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. Because this isn't something that's it's for tomorrow. This is for long-term use. Months, next season, the season after that. We're going to keep using this and keep letting that soil get richer and richer and richer with earthworm castings. You'll just have to go in there and scoop them out and put them wherever you want. This is Scotto's Garden. Follow, like, and subscribe at Scotto's Garden. Keep gardening, keep growing. Holla at your boy. Out.